I was so dumb, but I hopped on a plane, almost drove right back to the 541. Shitty U-turn on the freeway, you turn me from a fiend to a way to you fun. I can wait in the sun for a little, but it's been real gray, and tonight it's a nice C1. I can wait in the cold for a while if the reasons are plenty.
I want to run by you guys. By the way, I'll introduce the podcast in a minute. And I almost hesitate to do it on the pod, but nobody listens to this anyways. So I had a ding on my windshield on my car before this storm happened. It was like a little rock hit it, and it made just like a little line. And I was like, I'll get it taken care of, one of those deals. After the ice on my car, twice, by the way, because it was ice, it was snow, then ice, and then I cleaned that all off, and then we had that night where it was just ice rain again, and it was a nice little thick layer of ice again. So after that, the crack is bigger. It traveled across most of my windshield at this point. So, should I call my car insurance company and ask them if weather-related damage is covered, and should I, if they say yes, should I move forward with that? Or would morality say that I should not do that?
Get insurance companies morality? Fuck that.
What are you talking about? If you can ever get over on an insurance company, get over on
guys. You knew my plan before as I was asking the question. I just needed to hear somebody else say it. So
the question, how much is a windshield and what's your deductible? That's the only question on it.
Yeah.
Is it worth it?
Yeah. Now you're both complicit in my insurance fraud as well. So I'll just blame you guys for the idea.
Anytime there's a weather-related anything, always see if there's a way to get something out. Remember when there was the big fires and we had a shit ton of ash coming on here? I was like, ooh, maybe I could get some paint damage from this ash on my car. Maybe from rock kickbacks on my hood.
Get a new paint job, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I'll think about doing that, but didn't pull the trigger. But
so you guys ever had to replace a windshield? Yeah,
I haven't. No.
Is it spendy? It probably depends on the windshield, right? Because my Prius, the rear view mirror is attached to the windshield. It's got the light fading thing on it. So when it's really sunny, it sort of dims it a little bit. So I don't know. I feel like that might be expensive. I don't know though. How much was your ski? Do you remember?
This was on my old Honda Accord back when I first learned to drive.
Yes,
it was not expensive. I'll tell you that much. It was $150 or something like that. I think they probably pulled it from a junkyard just off some other board.
This is good. We're getting feedback in the chat too. So WCP says it can be spendy, depends on the car. Hucklebenny with some actual data. 3 times in the last couple of years. Twice on his Mazda SUV, that was $300 each time, and then once on his wife's Hyundai, which is $500.
Oh,
that sounds like something I want to run by my insurance company, you guys.
I just got a quote from Safelite.
There you go.
$364.02.
I don't like that at all.
Safelite repair.
Yeah, Safelite replace for a nominal fee. That's not part of the song. It's weird.
Yeah.
All right, let's start the podcast. Welcome, everybody. I'm Alex. At TSB Pod is the handle on Twitter. He's King at Jeromny. He's Ski at TSB Ski. We are also on Twitch right now, Thursday evening. We record the sports podcast every Thursday around this time. If you would like to watch it live and get in the chat and enjoy the fun, or join in the fun, I should say. I don't know if you're actually going to enjoy it. It is twitch.tv/abrog87, ABRAWG87. I just uploaded a bunch of streams to YouTube the last couple days, so if you miss the streams and for some reason want to watch them, you can do so there. Just search for the Sports Brewery. It's my personal YouTube page, and you can find them all there. There's a playlist and everything. I can't think of anything else. Movie on Sunday is your movie, and it is Barbie. So Watch Barbie. It's on Max. I assume everybody has seen Barbie already. So, but if you haven't, it's on Max right now, and you can watch it. Listen to us talk about it on Sunday. There you go.
Oh, all our woke listeners have definitely seen it. That's for sure.
You know it.
I'm not sure if our true patriot listeners have seen it or not, but
not me. Not me. I'm a Vivek voter. So I haven't seen it. Vivek? Vivek?
I always assume Vivek.
Your guess is as good as mine, but yeah. Yeah, so Barbie on Max. Watch it. Listen to us or something.
Notice how none of us tried to tackle his last name.
No, I'm good. No. You're doing great, man.
We couldn't figure out Vivek or Vivek. We are not figuring out that last one.
It's simple, right?
That's our ignorance. That has nothing to do with his last name. That's just our ignorance.
Absolutely. Which we fully admit to. Hucklebenny, by the way, says he did the Barbenheimer double feature with the 8th grader when it was in theaters. I still haven't seen Oppenheimer yet. I think I kind of want to. The more I've been watching about it, I think it's probably going to be really good. So I don't know.
An 8th grader could grind out 5.5 hours.
For real.
Maybe pushing 6.
Give the 8th grader a medal. Like, for real. I hope they got rewarded for that.
Like I saw over the weekend that Oppenheimer is coming out on Apple TV.
Okay.
Middle of February. And I was like, oh, okay, I can finally watch it. Because you are not catching me at a theater for a 5-hour movie. Like, not a chance.
Yeah, I did that with the Lord of the Rings movies. I think I paid my dues, man. You know.
Well, they're walking.
They're still walking. Oh, look,
there's a forest.
There's a mountain in the distance. How about it? They're walking towards it.
That little furry guy Greedo is about to try to do something with that bald guy.
Greedo.
See, I would go watch a long movie in the theaters if we still did intermissions.
Bring back intermissions now.
And we just got 15 to 20 minutes of a screen with raisinets and, a good old Mr. Pibb or something dancing on the screen in black and white. And we had people, we could just go to the bathroom and just get our popcorn. I don't even particularly like the new theater setup where they're like, oh, you can get this bougie food and an IPA and a Pinot Gris. I don't want that. I just want an intermission. I just want 15, 20 minutes to check my phone and go pee. Like, come on. That's all. Bring back the intermission.
If they're going to continue to let Tarantino and Marty Scorsese make movies, you're going to have to bring this in. I mean, what, Killer Flowers Moon's like 3.5 hours long?
Oh, and buddy, it's like, that is a full 3 hour and 49-minute flick. Oh,
he gets every inch out of the.
Let me tell you,
dude. My mom tried to set like a family get together night where we like had dinner, watch a movie. Great plan. She recommended Oppenheimer and Killers of the Flower Moon. And I'm like, Mom, who the fuck are you kidding? Like, you cannot sit for 3.5 hours and watch a movie. I don't know anybody's mom who could, by the way. I'm not judging my mom here. I'm just saying, like, 3.5 hours. In what world do you think you are capable of that? I love you, Mom. You're the best.
I'll tell you.
You can't do it.
I'll tell you what world. In the Barbenheimer universe, that's where.
Yeah.
That's where.
Yeah. It's like that's a special version of the MCU, right? That's a world. That's a world we're living in right now.
I am pretty confident though. My mom could grind out a 4-hour movie with ease.
She's a different breed. Breed.
Well,
yep.
I mean, that makes sense to where I got my.
I've always said that about your mom. See? I've always said that. I've never met your mom.
It's gotten so much worse. She found like Korean dramas, and each episode's like an hour and a half, and she can knock out like 2 episodes a night.
Like those ones on Netflix.
Yeah.
Dude. Yeah.
Netflix, they're long.
Dude, Netflix went heavy on the Korean dramas lately. It was a really interesting move. Like seeing all those show up.
Whenever maybe a little correlation when Bong Joon won his Oscar, and now all of a sudden, because Parasite was huge.
Yeah, Parasite. Yep.
all of a sudden, like, hey, maybe the American audience might want to see
Squid Game
shit. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm into it, but like the cheesy drama shows, those are special, you know? Like I remember back in the food delivery days, King, there was that China Blue restaurant. Do you remember that place down on campus?
I do.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So remember it was owned by the two people, and they worked there every single day, and they always had the TV on with like VHSs of Chinese dramas playing on them 24/7. And you go in there and you sit there waiting for food, and you're just like, what the fuck is this? Like, what? Who watches these? I mean, beyond the lovely woman who worked at China Blue. But it's like, man, apparently Ski's mom, too. Apparently Ski's mom. They were made for that wonderful lady and Ski's mom, apparently.
Yeah, you know.
Who
70 plus.
I don't know if I don't know if Ski's mom is wonderful or not, so I can't speak on it. But.
Am I the only one in here who has powered through Killers of the Flower Moon?
Yep.
Yeah, I have not gotten to the grind on that yet.
Oh, it's a grind.
I mean, there was a good time with this ice storm. I love it. It's a grind, for sure.
And all the reviews I saw from people that I even like genuinely like kind of trust, not just like movie snobs. So like, oh, you know, with most Marty movies, totally, you can take this 10-minute scene out, this out. The last 45 minutes, 17. That shit got repetitive. We know she's sick. Like, let's go. Finish it up. Wrap it up, Marty. Okay, no spoilers, but, you know.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you guys what were the plans during the ice storm. So you know we're all stuck. Like we can't go anywhere. I'll give my answer first, but I'm curious what you guys did because it's been a while since we've been in a situation like this where you can't even go to the store. Like if you try to walk outside, you slip because the ground is ice. It looks like snow, but it's ice. But I beat Spider-Man 2. I played all of Spider-Man 2 and beat it in those three days or whatever. And I watched the most football I've watched in a very long time. I watched every single wild card game. All of them. I played Spider-Man 2 and watched football and drank wine. And it was great.
Braga.
It was great.
It's not just they're not wild card games anymore. Get with it.
It's a wild
they're
card round.
Super wild card round.
You're right. Emi. You're right.
Yeah, seriously.
Yep.
It's been 2 years.
Just because your team wasn't involved with it, I mean, you don't have to fully pay attention. But
what's that like? All these poverty NFL teams playing in the wild card round. Wow. Imagine.
Super wild card.
Super wild card, excuse me.
Super wild card.
Wild card. Man, what? And they really were crazy. Like, you know, the Cowboys getting destroyed the way they did. The Eagles getting just fucking... I think, like, Ski, you and I sort of were talking about that, weren't we? Where... Was it you and I where we were talking about how the Bucks... Like, this was like a lock that the Bucks were going to beat the Eagles. Like, I think we're in the Discord talking about that.
The way the Eagles were playing, no A.J. Brown, and just how the Bucks' record at home. If it was in Philly, different story. This is in Tampa. Bucks are tough there. Yeah,
you don't just walk into Tampa St. Pete.
No.
I saw a thing where it said Baker Mayfield is what we all wished Johnny Manziel would have been, which is pretty on point. Baker was great, man, and the Eagles for whatever reason, I'll tell you the reason. For whatever reason, their defense just fell apart towards the end of the season. Like they got just run off the field. But I'll tell you when it happened, it's when the 49ers dismantled them. You look at their schedule, man. Like the 49ers destroyed them, and then they never recovered from that. their whole season was just a fucking wash after that. I mean, they still had one of the best records in the NFL, and they just kept losing and losing to teams that they had no business losing to, including the Bucs, by the way. So it's the Niners effect. Similar thing happened to the Cowboys this year too. I mean, they won a couple of games afterwards, which were nice wins for them. But man,
the Cowboys were going into the playoffs, scoring a ton of points. And they still had a top 5 defense statistically. And, they just got their brakes beat off them.
48 to the Packers. Yeah. Who had a win then on week 18 to get in. Yeah, exactly. Jordan Love better than Dak Prescott, obviously.
I did love that when the Packers won. Whatever NFL outlet you looked at, whatever station, channel, whatever, they really hammered home that the Packers were the first number 7 seed to ever win a playoff game. Yes, they've played those games for 2 years.
2 years, yeah.
The second year. Can we?
No, hang a banner. Hang a banner. Hang a banner in Lambeau Field. Come on.
They were laying that one on a little thick.
And
I'm real glad.
And what's your reward, Green Bay? Now you get to go to San Francisco. Have fun. And the Niners, by the way, got that extra week to rest McCaffrey, and Eric Armstead's going to be back. And oof.
They got that extra week of rust, you mean?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what that means. I think, because I remember saying it when the Niners, won the game to get the 1 seed before the final week, because they ended up losing to the Rams with all backups or whatever. But I remember saying just fuck, this is so big, because everybody was banged up at the time. Okay, sorry.
Hey, yo. Well, goddamn.
I say goddamn. I say goddamn, Kyle Shanahan. What you working with? That is not what I said, and you know it. But yeah, just so we'll see. There is absolutely something to that ski, but one would hope they're professionals, that they don't, that rest doesn't matter. But we'll see. And also they're better than the Packers by a lot.
I mean, a lot of teams that are in the playoffs still are better than the Packers.
Yeah. So.
I mean, King's the team. Next week, that's the most interesting matchup. Fucking the Bills.
All I'm saying is, if the Bills lose this game at home,
oh yeah,
I don't want to hear about them for a long time.
At least until next year.
No, I don't want to hear about them. They gotta make. I don't want to hear about if they lose at home to Rashee Rice and a bunch of stiffs. I don't want to hear about them until they reach an AFC Championship game. I don't want to hear about them in October. I don't want to hear about them in November. They win a wild card round. If they're going to buy and win division round, I don't want to hear from them. Josh Allen, put up or shut up. Legacy game. Jordan, 45. You got to do it in the playoffs. 15. Brady, Jerry Rice, Aikman. They all did it. Do it, Josh Allen. You loser. You coward. You can't do it.
Coward. Is this
coward?
Really, is this really Mahomes' first road playoff game?
I mean,
is that possible?
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah.
He's played a lot of playoff games. They've seriously had a home field every year.
I think they've been the 1 seed for.
No, they haven't been the 1 seed for every year. I know, 1 year the Ravens were the 1 seed, and the Titans.
Yeah.
Oh God. Also, can I just say, out of the 4 quarterbacks in the AFC, CJ Stroud, no pressure. Patrick Mahomes, maybe a little pressure, I guess. But Lamar and Josh Allen, oh, buddy. This is a hater's delight if either one of them lose in the next 2 weeks. You lose in the Super Bowl, I think you're kind of being nitpicky there. But if neither of them get to the Super Bowl,
Josh Allen better not lose.
Better not lose.
Better not lose.
Better not lose, Bills. You're only a 3-point favorite at home.
This is your chance, Buffalo. This is it. Like the Chiefs are down right now. Like I know they're still the Chiefs, but they are down right now. This is the time.
The fucking funniest thing about this matchup is if Kadarius Toney just wasn't a fucking dipshit.
The home game.
The Bills might not even be in the playoffs.
Yeah, that too.
The Chiefs are the 2 seed. The Bills might not be in the playoffs. That's how close.
Butterfly effect sports shit is the best. It's the best and the worst at the same time.
And as a Chiefs fan, I don't. The only game I've gone into in the last 5 years, thinking they'll lose, was that Super Bowl against the Pats because the entire offensive line went out during the playoffs and they were terrible. Okay, whatever. It happens. This team is not that great, but
defense got a good defense.
That's my thing. Is
elite defense. Yes,
and the Bills receivers aren't great, and the Chiefs DBs can get into people and get into that ass. Oh, I'm not saying I think the Chiefs are going to win, but I can see a Chiefs win, and oh my God, the people of Buffalo are going to just want to jump into Niagara Falls.
I saw a pretty good video of Tosh from Tosh.0. Apparently, he's a big Dolphins fan. He had it was a 1.5 minute, 2 minute long thing where he was talking about the division. And he got to the Bills. And he's like, I never felt bad for the Bills. You get to the Super Bowl 4 times and lose. It's like that. But he was talking to your thing you better win this year now with Josh Allen. Otherwise, you're just going to be remembered as. Remember that run where we had a 2 or 3 year run where we were relevant? Because then it's going to go away real quick here if they don't.
Because that's all they are right now. They're not winners. They're just irrelevant.
Yes. They're not even relevant. They're on the cusp of being relevant because you still haven't done anything in the playoffs.
Well, and that's the crazy thing is because people are like, oh, the Bills are the hottest team of football. Okay, yeah, they have won 7 straight games. Got it. But if you start diving into some of it, they could have very easily lost to Miami in the season finale, but Miami is allergic to winning a big game. Was it New Year's Eve or Christmas Eve when they were in LA playing against Easton Stick on the Chargers?
Yeah.
And they legitimately needed a last 4-minute drive to win the game. They're not winning convincingly. And Josh Allen, if he just has that one game where he turns it over 2 or 3 times, this has 19-13 disgusting Chiefs win written all over it.
And he will turn the ball over. That's his.
But the thing is, the Chiefs defense really doesn't turn anyone over. No. McDuffie forcing fumbles on corner blitzes which is weird, is about the only way they get turnovers.
Yeah, they just don't give up points.
They don't give up points.
Which is kind of good. Yeah. So I know we're biased here, but I really want to see San Francisco, Kansas City in the Super Bowl. I really think that would be a good matchup. Just as good as the KC defense is, as good as the Niners offense is. By the way, the Niners, every skill position player is a Pro Bowler this year. They had 3 guys over 1,000 yards receiving it was Kittle and Ayuk over 1,000 yards receiving, McCaffrey over 1,000 yards rushing, and then Purdy was over 4,000 yards passing. It's fucking insane. This is the offense that Kyle Shanahan has been dreaming of, and he finally has. And I want to see that offense against Kansas City's defense. That's what I want to see.
I guess he's in the same with Lamar and Allen here. It's you better fucking win now, because if he doesn't win this year, it's
this is it. You're losing Ayuk in free agency.
Exactly. You don't know what this team's going to be like next year. Is McCaffrey still locked in for another year?
Yeah, he's good. They extended him. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. But yeah, Ayuk's your best playmaker. But back to your point, King. It was after they beat you on that bullshit with Tony. They went. I think they stomped Dallas at home.
Yes.
And then they beat the Chargers by 2 with Easton Stick. Then they beat New England at home by 6.
That's right.
And then snuck out that win. And so it's like you said, they had one convincing win in this whole run of wins they've had.
And a playoff win is a playoff win. But that win
Even
against the Steelers was not that amazing. And by the way, can Bills fans, how are they not getting penalized for throwing snowballs at wide receivers while the ball is midair? George Pickens just gets lobbed snowballs at him while the ball is coming. It was a bad throw because it's Mason Rudolph. But what? How are we differentiating between snowballs and beer bottles? I know beer bottles are more dangerous, but they're still clearly throwing projectiles targeted at players.
That's affecting the game. Like that's the point, right? If it affects the game, then it's a penalty, right? Isn't that the thing?
Could be.
By the way, nobody should ever talk about a great playoff win when Mason Rudolph is involved in that game. Ever. The fact that the Steelers were playing in the playoffs with that fucker at quarterback is incredible. So, whatever. Like 31-17 over that Steelers. You gave up 17 to Mason Rudolph in the playoffs? What's wrong with you is my question.
It wasn't even convincing. The Steelers were only down a touchdown in the fourth quarter.
Exactly.
Like, they were still in the game.
And my thing with the Ravens is the Ravens are the reason the Steelers even made the playoffs. I get it. They rested everyone in week, I guess it's 18 now. 18. But they also lost to them like 11-4, some bullshit game in like the end of September. The weather wasn't that bad. Maybe it was. I don't know. I'm not paying attention. But screw the Ravens. They let the Steelers in the playoffs. They should not. I hope they get eliminated by Houston.
Hey, Houston right now, like you said, a quarterback that's got nothing to prove or show right now, who's been throwing for like 400 yards and
on fire, yeah, all season long, yeah. I'm not going to sleep by them, right? If we had lines right now, that was still a thing. I would take the Texans plus the 9.5, and I take the Chiefs plus the 3 or whatever they're sitting at now. Also, wow. Texans. So you're saying that? So you're taking Texans with the points. Do you think they'll win though?
I would sprinkle a little on the money line too,
right.
But I think the 9.5, 10. Yeah. I think you're sitting pretty good.
D'Amico Ryans, man, that Shanahan coaching tree. I'm telling you.
I mean, Lamar hasn't played a football game. It'll be 20 days when they kick off.
The Ravens had a fantastic season this year, but I still look at them. You just look at them on paper and their guys. They're not scary.
Is Mark Andrews still hurt?
He's practicing, which if he actually is healthy is a big thing. But
huge, yeah.
You're scared of Zay Flowers and
Odell Beckham Jr. Yeah.
I'd take Zay Flowers right now. I'll tell you that.
Hey, the other big news was Sky Moore's out there. Sky Moore's out there practicing. So
oh no,
he has potential to play.
By the way, guy coming back for the Niners this week from concussion. He missed like 2 or 3 games with a concussion. Jawan Jennings,
he missed like 5 games.
Yeah, he is a really big deal in their offense, and they really missed him. Like for blocking, obviously, but he's like the third down guy. Like they call him they say third and Jawan, and because Purdy throws to him on third down, he converts on third down every single time. So having him back, like people don't know, like most NFL fans have no idea who that guy is, but he is like legitimately a big piece of their offense that they had been using for like a month.
He's going to have full blown CTE. You don't miss 4 weeks from a concussion unless your brain took some serious damage.
Hey baby,
I mean,
it's the playoffs. Rub some dirt on that brain, get it back out there. Let's go.
Going to be out there looking like Tua out there here soon.
Oh, the Dolphins. Wow. Oh, boy.
Losers. Just losers.
I love the amount of dunking that has been happening with Alabama quarterbacks in the last few days. Well, it's like those memes going around with the picture of all the Alabama quarterbacks with cigars like Hurts and Tua and Mac Jones. And, yeah, it's just like, oh, boy, what happened? That took a turn. And by the way, in like 6 months, 4 to 6 months, maybe that took a huge turn. I don't know. Mac Jones, Mac Jones was the starter of the Patriots coming into this season, and he disappeared.
He was starter by started by default.
He disappeared so quick, though. So quick this year. And Jalen Hurts has been bad. Pretty much all year.
They they lost their offensive coordinator to my team. That is usually, and if you look at how my team almost made the playoffs, that's
and they lost
probably second.
And they lost Swift too.
And Swift, yeah.
Swift went to the Lions. So yeah. Lose your coordinator, lose one of your best offensive players. That shit happens.
And then
man.
AJ Brown not in that game for the playoffs. They were dead.
Dead. Done.
Now they're going to lose Kelce probably to retiring. Yeah, they're a dead team.
No, he did retire.
It's official.
He walked it back.
I thought he said it. He'll probably do it. He wants to maybe do it on like his terms on the podcast, maybe. But
Adam Schefter was a little leaky faucet, but he will end up retiring.
Yeah.
Wants to do it on the podcast.
Hey, he wants those clicks, man.
I get it.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah, punch the bell.
Punch the bell.
I mean, he's a first-team All-Pro this year, so why he's retiring, I don't know. He probably sees what's happening in the locker room and with the roster, and is like, "I'm good."
His brother is probably not too far behind him here. I mean, Kelce can't. The way he's looking, Travis. Yeah, the way he's looking.
He's watching. He was like first team All Pro.
I know.
I think you'll find. Well, actually, I think you'll find that was George Kittle this year. But
it depends which list you look at. Yeah. But
I look at the
coaches, AP. Yeah, you look at the AP. Yeah, Ray Ratto out here and John Wilner. Yeah, I wonder where their votes went. No, but what's funny is I think someone can easily correct me if I'm wrong. I think Kelce is older now than Gronk was when he retired.
Yeah,
which is insane.
And also weird because didn't Gronk take an extra? Did he have 2 years off there?
I think it was just a year.
Was it just a year?
Yeah, but I in my head, even though I knew Kelce had been around forever, it did not process that he was actually until around Thanksgiving. It's like, fuck.
It's a tight end, you know.
He's 35?
We think like Tony Gonzalez. He played like he was 40. Shannon Sharp played forever. Tight ends, the way he plays, different than how those guys played. You know, those guys weren't getting 12 targets half his games. But that's coming here quick.
Oh yeah, next year will be his last year. It'll be maybe he hangs on. The dropping passes thing is wild.
That's wild. That's contagious on that roster, my guy. Like,
believe me. Yeah, I'm aware.
Goodness gracious. I feel that way with Kittle too. By the way, like Kittle has a lot.
He's got to be over 30. Right?
He's got a lot of Tim Lincecum in him. You know. Like the way he blocks and the way he goes after it, like when he catches the ball, he always lowers his head into people and tries to run through them too. So I don't know. He's been really lucky the way he plays to avoid injury like his whole career, and it has to catch up with him at some point. I mean,
is he such a dope that his brain's fine?
Maybe. He seems to know what he's doing. I don't know, man.
I mean, that was the thing with Gronk, too. He's just such a dope that he could have 1,000 concussions. It just seems the same.
Yeah. There's probably some truth to that. Yep. Did you guys see the Niners fullback's wife dressing up Taylor Swift? That's good stuff.
Dressing up everybody, apparently.
With little jacket, yeah.
Biles
she has been. I follow Juszczyk on Instagram, and she does that. She's been doing that for years now. And so
she might be making more money than Kyle Juszczyk.
She started making them pretty soon, right? She started making them for herself, and then a few weeks ago she made one for Debo, and then all of a sudden like players started asking for them for their women and whatnot. And
did they pay? Does Juszczyk catch like a good salary like for NFL?
Like
for NFL level?
Yeah. A fair fullback salary in the NFL.
That's a fullback salary could be,
Yeah, we should
league
look that
minimum.
up. We should look that up.
Yeah.
I'm curious. Yeah, because I know,
Like,
because that's sort of what the Niners do. Is they take care of their guys, and he has been their guy for such a long time, and it's like, okay, there's a balancing act of we know you want to stay here because you like winning. We also know you want to get paid, and let's figure out what actually works for this.
we have brought
By the
it
way-
before where there's only a handful of teams that even use the fullback, so his options are limited.
I have no fucking idea how to spell his last name, by the way.
Just if you just put Kyle then like a J and a Z, it should pop up.
Kyle Juszczyk. Here we go. Nope, that's not
It's
what
like
I
a
meant.
Lion.
Nope, not at all. And then I think it's Spotrack. Here we go.
Yeah.
4-year, $21 million contract he signed.
Hey, I mean, for a fullback, that ain't too bad.
So there's a
Guarantees.
there's a potential out going into this year. If they decide to keep him on the roster, he gets $5.75 million. With
Jesus.
$800,000 signing bonus. So yeah.
So he's getting cut then, right?
No, hell no. He's a glue guy, man. You don't get rid of your glue guys.
Yeah, you can find another glue guy.
Fair. Okay, we completely started talking about the NFL and did not hear anything that you guys did during the ice storm. Do you guys do anything?
I walked to a convenience store on Sunday and Monday.
Risky proposition, my friend.
About a mile and a quarter round trip. Not bad. Straight shot each way through a neighborhood type thing. The amount of muscles you need to use when you're walking on uneven ice and shit is crazy, man.
Core workout. Totally.
Oh, I felt it in my lower abs and right on like the upper part of my knees on the outside. I was like, oh, it's very targeted on both sides of my body. Like, what the hell?
But yeah, at least you know what it was. There's been times where I'm having a good time drinking some soda pops at my buddy who's got a ping pong table. Start playing some game of ping pong. And it's like I woke up the next morning. I was like, "What the fuck happened to me? Did I get hit by a car on my way home?" I was like, "My fucking legs are destroyed."
It's the pong, man.
That's that little quarter squat you're in, the ready position. Oh,
good for you, man. Good for you getting in the exercise while we're in the ice storm. I'm like
ice storm. I didn't leave my couch. Well, once I slid my way to, the store, but that's it.
Yeah. I'm like a crazy person with going for runs and stuff. So, I did it anyways, even though it was icy, and I literally wore cleats.
We need a white person sounder. Like,
yeah.
How was the texture? Was it the perfect texture?
Perfect texture.
Perfect texture on my runs, guys. I gotta get in my runs. I gotta get in my miles.
Did you have a North Face vest on while you were running? That's how white you were.
I'll tell you what I did. I layered up the socks though. So I wore the cleats the first day, and cleats are not meant to be run in like that. Like cleats are like a little bit of running. So you sprint, you cut, but you don't run long distances in them. And they fucking tore up my feet. Like it was bad news.
Question though, why do you still have cleats?
Ooh, I have some cleats.
Are these just some old ass cleats that you just held on to in case?
Yep. Yeah. I played some adult beer league flag football one year. And I did like the kickball stuff too. So I had cleats for those. But
you wore cleats in kickball?
Yeah, baby. Yeah, I ain't trying to slip out in the outfield. You kidding me?
Wow, that's extreme.
Well, I'm very
I know you hustled your ass off during
you better believe it.
You ran down the line faster than David Eckstein. No doubt about it.
Yeah, I am taking people out at second base. Forget it. Yeah. You think you could just catch a kickball and get me out? Good luck. Good luck. Let's see if you can hang on to it. That's all I'm saying. We'll see. We'll see who's the better man on this kickball field.
Oh, this from last week. You were definitely running hard 90s on the pop outs. That's for sure.
I bet it's gonna be me, motherfucker.
Oh yeah, I I was just going to ask.
I swear it was just a close game.
Should I even bother watching the second half? They have no chance of winning in Colorado.
They never win.
Yeah.
We
should mention Oregon.
They're down a dozen.
Oregon playing Colorado right now in Colorado in basketball, and as we know from history, Oregon does not win in Colorado. I think they did 2 years ago.
Last year? 2 years ago? Last year?
They had one win.
Yeah,
I know that. They got one.
I think it was last year, wasn't it?
I think so too, because I feel like the streak was like 0-11, and
because it was because it was Colorado.
I think they're 1-10 or 1-11.
It was at Colorado and at Berkeley that Dana Altman could not win, and I think he did both of them last year. And it was just like, oh, okay, we exercised the demons. No, you didn't. Because you're losing to Colorado by 12 right now, going into halftime. And Colorado 12-5 this year, so maybe not awful, but Oregon should not be losing to them.
I think they're one of the 3 Pac-12 teams in the tournament right now from Joe Lenardi.
So, do anything else fun in the ice?
No, it was a terrible storm. It was a bust of a storm because it wasn't even fun. Like after Saturday, I couldn't even force the kids to go out to play because I'm like, what are you gonna do?
They can't
break
play.
Some front teeth?
Break something. Yeah.
Break an ankle? Like, no, thank you.
No, dude, I went for walks with my kid. Like I went for walks the first 2 days, and finally, like after the second one, we're just like, this isn't fun. It's slippery. We have to like be careful with every step we take. This is a bummer. Let's just stay inside, I guess. Like it goes against everything that I try to be as a parent, where it's like you try to get your kid out and do things as much as possible, but it's like, fuck, if I take you outside, you're going to get injured, and then I get in trouble. then they call protective services on me because I took my kid out in the ice.
Yeah.
No, ice is the worst. Like I said, I would take like 2 feet of snow than like 3 inches of ice, 2 inches of ice, whatever we had build up there. Yeah. At least that you bring a little, little nipper of whiskey or something and go sledding. It's not too bad.
Little snifter.
Just a little taster out there, right. And just to keep yourself warm, just for medicinal purposes.
Yeah,
but
temperatures.
By early Saturday afternoon, I went out just to kind of check the outside, and I saw some kids, like way up the street doing the thing where they tried to sled on it, and it literally, I'm assuming I saw the first kid try because he hit that little circular saucer thing. It went thud and kind of farted out about 4 feet. They packed that shit up and were like, nope.
Yeah.
I just know if I was closer, I could have heard the.
You could hear his tailbone breaking.
Yeah, like that. No, he went belly first.
Oh, God.
He had the saucer out in front of him and hit it on the belly. And I was watching. I was like, no, I don't think that. No.
Did you walk out there and tell them how's the gnar out here? You're shredding the gnar.
There was no gnar.
There's no gnar.
There's no gnar.
You can't shred gnar. What are you doing out there?
You cannot shred the gnar in the eye.
I do know.
We all know.
By the way, speaking of the ice, forgot to mention earlier, Booble not in our chat. You will not hear me say his name because Booble is without power still, I believe, and he has been for like a few days now. So, a lot of people throughout the state, lost power, still haven't gotten it back, and it's just been a bummer. Like again, ice sucks, man. Like this is not a fun situation. Even though I was able to beat Spider-Man 2, which was nice.
Like the crazy thing about the storm is, so yesterday I drove from the MLK part in Springfield where it joins into Pioneer Parkway. And they have all those little islands in there in front of the hospital, and then the islands with trees and shit for the EMX, those trees are gone. Like, I've never seen so many trees just ripped out of the soil or just split in half. That Springfield, I don't know what the difference was.
Something was off over there. Yeah.
Only thing I can think of is like 40 years ago, the city got a grant to plant 10,000, 10,000 trees. And they were dumb in 1984, didn't have the internet, and just picked these trees that cannot withstand ice because they're gone. Like,
And Springfield,
it was crazy.
And Springfield has like that boil water order going on right now too. Like the drinking water in Springfield is not drinkable. So, shit. Yeah, Springfield got it bad for sure.
Just drink some Coors Light. You're good.
Yeah, it's basically water anyways, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Or less.
Yeah, okay.
From the Rocky Mountains, though.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, just make sure you get the ones with the blue that changes color, right?
Yeah, you got to make sure the mountains are blue.
You have to make sure it's cold. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I will say when the ice does come, and you have a good chance of losing power. There's a fun game I get to play in my neighborhood where my street is split on like what grid we're a part of. And lucky enough this year, we had power the whole time. Wow. Neighbors across the street lost power early and just got it back like 3 hours ago.
Ooh.
And it's a fun game because, we go out there and start flaunting our lights and our heat with each other. And the last one, I lost power for a week. They had power the whole time.
You put the Christmas lights back up.
Oh yeah.
You just start flicking your lights.
Turn them all on. Just crank my heat to the max. Just go out there, start strutting around like, oh, how's it doing over there, guys? You can build a little hobo fire to stay warm tonight. How's he doing? No, but it's a fun little dynamic our sides of the street have because it's kind of alternated every big ice storm there's been in the last 10 years.
Yeah, I feel super fortunate I kept power and internet the whole time. Like I know a lot of people who lost internet, even if they didn't lose power. So I'm stoked where I'm at, I guess. I think I got lucky.
At this point in society, what would you rather lose, power or internet?
Power.
Yeah, at least still, yeah. Be on your phone and tablets and know what's going on in the world.
Yeah, no, I would rather lose internet. Like I can figure it out. I got 4G, baby. I'll be fine. I can watch videos on my phone. But man, like
suck up all that data.
That's the thing,
data
though.
plan.
Yeah, but if you lose,
roll through that data.
I got unlimited data, baby. What do you mean? What are you guys living in the early 2000s when you had data
Scrooge
plans?
McDuck here, but they have a thing where it's like, oh, they don't have unlimited data, but they have enough. They say, oh, you shouldn't run through it until you're not connected to Wi-Fi for a week and a half.
A few buddies and I literally we downloaded the app for Facebook Messenger because one of their wives got mad that we were in a group text. And they had limited texts, so that's how long we've had it, and it totally changed the game for everything. We gave him so much shit for it, but it's so much better than group texts. Like group texts are the worst. Well, they're not the worst, but they're more annoying than the app. I'll say that.
Yeah, just start your own Discord. Might as well.
I'll say they're the worst if you have a bunch of people who barely know each other involved in it. So like if you're like over 5 people or something, and so like you invite a bunch of people to a Super Bowl party with a group text or something like that, and it's like everybody responds, and it's like, Jesus Christ, take me off of this. Oh my God. And you can't because it's a group text and you're just on it forever. So
forever.
Okay. Should we dunk on Washington some more before we head out here? We got some stuff we got some stuff we can dunk on them for. So Kalen DeBoer does end up taking the Alabama job, and then they hired Jed Fisch to be his replacement. So I am of the opinion that Fisch is a good coach. He turned Arizona into a very good team this year from absolutely nothing, and did it with a freshman quarterback who only played because the starter was injured. And, the fact that he coaches Washington, I think might be a bummer in a few years. And the reason I say that is because they don't have any fucking players at all this year. Like their entire offense either transferred or graduated or went to the NFL draft early because Kalen DeBoer left. Like,
I mean, we already said they were losing so many guys as is because they had like a dozen seventh-year starters,
and all of their whole quarterback room, right? Yeah.
Well, they just
all three of them, because
that freshman just went to Alabama.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Or incoming freshman, I think it was, yeah. But I will say, because you said, "Oh, you're worried about Fisch," it's like I wasn't, because everyone kind of has the idea that he'll probably be gone here in 2 to 3 years. But with how depleted this roster is, you kind of need to have good, decent teams to get better jobs. So it might force him to stick around a little longer, potentially.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying like 3 years or something like that, because he'll probably be able to get some good transfers in and be able to figure it out. It's just not going to happen this year. Like it's too late. All of the good quarterback transfers and everything else, they've already gone to teams. Like Cam Ward ends up going to Miami, which is a what the fuck, man. But again, that just tells you that the process and the cycle has already gone through like several turns. Like guys have already said, I'm going to the NFL draft. Changed my mind. Now I'm going to Miami. Like that's where we're at right now. And there's nobody left.
I was going to say, how do they fill out a team? Honestly,
well, I mean, there's a transfer portal again after spring practice.
Yes, there is.
But how do they really run a spring practice?
Yeah, how do you have a spring game, right?
And for all the dunking I've done, you've done, we've all done, we can do, we will do on Washington, the way everything is set up now by timing of the portal and all this stuff, if Lanning left next year, Oregon would be in the same situation.
Not as bad.
Not as dramatic because Washington had an old roster to begin with. But man, it is crippling at this point. I mean, even Alabama, they got all these guys. They're just like out, leaving. See ya. It's just a wild thing now.
But you do expect on the other end, new coach coming in, if you got, Lincoln Riley or what Dion did, if they're that level of coach, usually they're able to bring in enough. Like the fact that he couldn't bring in Fafita and McMillan, I think that kind of says something to Fisch in my eyes.
Well, my thing with that is I don't think Fafita should go. I don't think he should have gone. McMillan can play anywhere.
Anywhere, yeah.
Fafita is tiny. I know this is. We just saw what we know what Tua does when it's cold and shitty and rainy out, right? And college teams don't play as deep into the winter as the NFL teams do. But if Fafita is playing November games in Seattle, Madison, State College, man, when you're a $184 and 5'10", and don't have a strong arm, that's a tough situation.
He's got small hands too.
I think he's much better in the Big 12. I think he made the wise decision.
And honestly, you're the cock of the walk of that campus. Why would you want to leave the Arizona campus to Seattle?
To go to Seattle, right? Like there's something to Tucson just being a better place than Seattle, right?
It's like anyone that wants to stick around at like Arizona State, I can see why. Especially if you're not like 100% serious about school, Arizona State's one of the best places you could be at.
And again, like, why would he go to Washington right now? We just said they lost their entire offense. Why his numbers are going to be worse just by default because he doesn't have any receivers to throw to, and the offensive line is going to be completely new. It's like why would you elect to go into that situation? Like, again, Washington is down bad right now. Like,
and on the other end, Arizona's looking pretty primed for in the Big 12 next year. Why leave?
They're perfect for that conference. Like they kind of are, aren't they?
I am still a little shocked that Fisch left. I mean, the money was nice, and it has to be one of the major factors to it. But if his goal, they keep bringing up like the Florida job here soon. Like they seem to key in on that's where he wants to go. Why would he? I don't think he should have left Arizona, especially when they're going to be a top 15 team next year going in preseason. Yeah, in a weak conference, I would have stuck it out if he wanted that other job.
The only contrary to that is, what is Arizona facing? Like a $250 million deficit as a school. Like they're up against some bullshit right now. They mismanaged shit for years. COVID made it way worse. So they're actually officially really poor.
Were they going to be somehow unable to pay the coaching staff and things?
Not that bad.
Were they going to find levels to maybe nickel and dime on?
Yeah, they were talking about dropping sports 2 months ago. They're not doing it. But yeah, the Fisch thing, I don't know. It's not a bad hire, but
I think it's probably the best hire they.
Yeah, well, because you're always
for the circumstances. Yeah,
you're always kind of prisoner of who's available. You know, so I mean that kind of is what it is. And he's not a bad hire by any stretch, but I don't think it's not a hire that I think is going to stick by any stretch. And
no, that's why.
He's as nomadic as he's a nomad, just in general. So, but
and they already did that hire with DeBoer. I mean, that dude had bounced around for the last decade plus, and now all of a sudden they bring a guy with similar stylings.
At least he lied to them.
2 years
at least he lied to them and said it was a dream job or whatever he called it. And Fisch was like,
no, that's.
He was dancing.
Stop you there.
Yeah, hang on, bud. Hang on. I don't do anything long term, pal.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, do we want to do our list? We're at about an hour. Or do you want to talk Cam McCormick's 9th year of eligibility? Anything to say on that? No.
The thing I want to say about that is, I didn't know he was partially deaf. I feel like that's I don't think, okay. I shouldn't say that. That's reckless. But I've never heard it before today. He's been around for almost a decade. I never knew he was hard of hearing. But also, did you follow his Twitter account today? Before he announced he was coming back, he teased for 90 minutes he had a decision.
I did see that, yeah.
And it was Miami fans just being like, bro, move on.
Let
an 18-year-old play.
Decision to what, my guy? Huh?
Yeah, but I felt bad. I joked, the obvious jokes aside, when I was reading those comments, oh, man, that is rough, because he's got degrees, he's got a master's, he's working on a second one, and every Miami fan is like, you stink. You weren't good in year 4, you weren't good in year 6, you weren't good in year 8, why would you be good in year 9? Leave. Okay, and so then his subsequent stuff, he turned off replies.
Yeah.
Don't blame him, by the way. That part is not a shot at him. Don't blame him.
I did not catch too many Hurricane games this year. Did he have even marginally decent stats this year?
No, they get 10 catches.
10. Yeah, unless he's Van Wilder and just loves campus life, even though he's old as shit, been there forever.
I'm just not sure. How did you get a 9th year?
Level for it. They just gave him so many free years of all those injuries. It had so many injury years. They're like, hey, he's got to have some, eligibility left, right? I mean, God, he missed 5 straight years.
It's just amazing that he was in the same class as Justin Herbert and Dakota Prukop. That is insane. Mark Helfrich brought him in. That is insane. Yeah. It's insane. And again, I don't want to rip on him. I don't think that's any of our intentions.
No.
But it's just 9 years. Come on, man. Come on.
He had 8 catches for 62 yards last year.
See, and that's I mean, like you said, they bring in Cam Ward. That's great. They might have a shot to be like okay in the fucking conference, but it's what are you hanging on to here?
Free school, I guess. Maybe he likes school.
But he's got every fucking degree possible.
Yeah.
What more is there?
Yeah. Maybe he doesn't. I mean, he's in Miami, and his housing and food and everything is paid
Again,
for.
like
He's in on their NIL money. Like, what the hell? Might as well.
Oh, he's getting NIL money. Whew.
How old is he? Do we know that? He's got to be like 27. Well,
25.
think about it. You're year 9, so you go to college when you're 18. That's 27. So the WCP says he's 25. So okay.
So he was young, at least coming in.
He probably came in, yeah. But yeah, he said, hey, if he just wants to roll the Van Wilder route, I'm all for it. Like you said, who wouldn't want to hang out for free and eat for free and hang out in South Beach? That's all the power to you, man.
Absolutely. I mean, he's not expected to really do anything in the offense either. Like, got 8 catches last year. Like, whatever.
I think he would have been fine not putting something out there like I'm returning and just showed up at the start of the season in pads and be like, is that Cam McCormick? Is that guy 45? What's he still doing out here? I think he should have went that route.
He should have just let like Bruce Feldman and those guys announce that he's returning.
Yeah, they happen to see him walk out in pads and they're like, oh, wait a minute. Didn't he? Wait, then they ask Cristobal about it. He's like, yeah, brother, got a 9th year, brother. Did he? How do you do that?
See, it would have been better. He could have showed up, first day of like interviews and stuff, and he'd be like, oh, great, Mario like brought you on as like a coach. He's trying to get you into the coaching staff. You're like, I'm here to play ball, man. Come on, man.
I got a jersey and everything.
Come on, man.
I'm 84.
Oh, that's only down 3 now, second half.
Ooh.
Just runs up and takes on the blocking shed or blocking sled.
Yeah.
All right, let's do our list and then leave. How about that? Our list. Where'd it come from? Did we create the list this week?
I think we did. I think you came
up
with
it. Did I do
it?
Yeah, I created the list. That's right.
Shit.
That's right. I was like, hey, we don't have a list yet. How about we do top 3 ice related things? And so we did top 3 ice related things. Either you want to start? I can. Whatever.
I'll start.
Okay, go for
My
it.
number 3, George the Iceman Gervin.
Hall of Famer.
Finger roll, baby. That's right. My number 3, Hooker Glacier in New Zealand. Heard it's a very easy to get to glacier.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure is. All right. My number 3 is No, the rapper, or whatever you want to say.
Informer.
Informer. Snow. Yes.
That's my number 2. No.
He let all white people become Rastafari. So.
Just on that note, because that was my number 2 as well. Over the ice weekend, I saw a thing where they're like, "Oh man, Jim Carrey was wilding in 1991, and he was doing the Informer thing, and he was like, imposter." And then I started reading, and I guess Snow's a real one. Like Snow isn't actually an imposter. Like he actually is kind of about that whole thing. I didn't know that. I thought he was an imposter.
And then especially, he's Canadian too. You think Jim Carrey would have like not gone after his own there?
It's perfect. It's perfect.
Where's Canadian pride here?
You want to give us your rendition of that song, Ski?
Does anyone actually know the lyrics outside of Informer?
No, exactly. You do your best. Yeah, you just make the sounds, right?
I always thought, is it I lick your boom boom down?
That's what I always thought. That's what I thought it was. Yep. I lick your boom boom down.
I thought it was that boom boom day. Because I was wrong.
Nobody knows. That's the great thing about the song.
All right, Ski, go ahead and give us your rendition of the song. Come on, man.
No. I don't. You know the rules.
We can't move on with the podcast until you do it. So. God damn it.
I'm definitely not going to go with that song, too. Of all things.
I know, out of all of them. And That is a weird song, guys. Let's see. WCP in the chat says hockey is his number 3. Hucklebenny, Val Kilmer's Iceman from Top Gun. It's good too. Let's see. My number 2, Colorado Avalanche legend Peter Forsberg.
Oh, the wrister.
Wicked Wrister.
Biscuit in the basket.
Always put the biscuit in the basket.
Man, he had the Pepsi Center electric.
Light it up, baby. All right, your 2 was snow, right?
Yeah.
All right, what's your 2, Ski?
My number 2 is could be said maybe the greatest acting job in the history of acting. Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze. I mean, it's pretty good.
Got any lines from
Good
it?
All right, everybody. On the count of 3, 2, 1. Need your best. Everybody, chill. 3, 2, 1. Everybody chill.
I thought, was he everybody? Or I thought he was chill out.
He had so many.
Was that from that could have been just from a different movie, also.
Oh, so good. Good call. 2's in the chat. Let's see. WCP says curling. It's good. Going with sports for WCP. Hucklebenny goes ice, ice, baby. Vanilla ice. I don't disagree with you. My number 1 is ice cream. That's all. All ice cream. It's great.
Even pistachio ice cream.
It's one of the best things ever invented by man. You know? I mean, think about it. Like, put it up there against anything. What have we done as like humankind? What have we done that has been a benefit to everything? Other than people who are lactose intolerant, but but it's great.
Yeah,
even people who are lactose intolerant love ice cream. There are people who explode diarrhea every time they eat ice cream, but they do it anyways because it's so fantastic.
I would say people who are lactose intolerant love ice cream more than the non-lactose intolerant people.
Yeah, they crave it all the time, and they know they can't have it, but they have it anyways.
You just flush those calories right away.
That's right.
Yep.
That's
Oh, yeah.
right. That's right. It's a guiltless meal, ice cream for them. All right, what's your 1?
My number 1. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Trump 2024. I won in 2020. Let me tell you what. Oh, it was a peaceful protest. Ashley Babbitt rules.
You can listen to Vanilla Ice at your MAGA rallies too. Perfect. Hit all the ices.
It's perfect. Absolutely flawless. All right, what about you, Ski?
My number 1 is Blizzard Entertainment. Played a lot of Diablo 4, so
yeah, it's a good call.
not played a lot of World of Warcraft though, but
yeah, you a big WoW guy? You hosting those LAN parties, Ski?
old school.
Yeah. WCP number 1, whipping shitties. which listener is Minnesota slang for doing donuts. I say listener because we all knew that. Obviously, we've heard that phrase many times. Yeah.
Can you only whip shitties when there's snow and or ice on the ground, or is it just any donut?
No, there's got to be snow or ice.
Yeah.
I hope so.
I think in Minnesota there's only snow and ice at all times of the year, so it's kind of a
except for mosquito season.
Oof.
They're the size of birds, man. Oof. Let me tell you.
Moral of the story:
also, Trump country. They like us too.
Moral of the story:
swing state.
Stay out of Minnesota. That's it. Let's see.
Like turn guy was innocent.
He says they do it on frozen lakes. That seems risky. Hucklebenny's number 1 is ice cream. Agreed. He is a known ice cream fiend. Big ups. An honorable mention from WCP: shaved ice. Shaved ice is.
You guys put a little bit of milk on your ice cream ever?
No.
Absolutely not. No.
Oh, it's great. It freezes on the top. I'm not talking about like a cup of milk, just enough to where the outer coat freezes and it crystallizes.
Like you just want to like gloss over your ice cream,
it's just a little bit of glazing. It's like the donut. The donut is whatever. You throw a little bit of glaze. It's the same thing. It hardens it. It makes it a hard shell. It's fantastic.
How does one do that? Like,
well, you put ice cream in a bowl,
yeah,
and then you just take a little bit of milk, tiny bit,
yeah,
you pour it over the top, and it equally goes and distributes.
So just like a quick pour, just like.
Oh, it's just a tiny bit, like maybe it's like 2 capfuls, maybe 3 at the most.
You just blew my mind just now, man.
That's great. You put too much on and it's awful. So like, I'm not saying like it's cereal, but just a little bit, and it freezes over real quick.
I'm into it.
Yeah.
Oh, I was going back to the shaved ice. Shaved ice is bottom tier shit in my eyes.
I mean, snow cones are bottom tier. Shaved ice is fantastic.
It's whatever the syrups used for those things are just awful. Unless there's somehow like a fancy, syrup they use for some of these things. But yeah. It's like otter pops are gross just because of the syrup in it.
Disagree.
I do not like the syrup part of it.
That is a hard disagree for me as well. So you're on an island here, bud.
Oh, trash food.
WCP says you got to do the ice cream thing with whole milk. Is that what you do?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, yes.
I thought you'd go half and half.
Oh no.
Heavy cream.
No. Too far.
Oh, too far.
Too far.
So Huckleberry with a good point about the shave ice, though. He says only if you're in Hawaii. Like, yes, it is different over there, but there's a good place in Eugene that does it exactly like that. I forget what they're called, but
we're in the lactose. I think those Hawaiians throw on some like condensed milk on there too, or something.
That's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
That ice cream, the Hawaiian ice cream, with like the half and half or whole milk or whatever, and a little bit of like Sprite and whatever. Oh, it's so good.
That's wild.
It's amazing.
It's wild.
So good. It's crazy good.
Weird. People in Hawaii know what to do with food.
Yeah.
That's odd.
Okay. Our AD cost us by canceling the game at Hawaii.
Thank you. Thank you for bringing that up. We totally forgot about that. Glossed over it. That's the biggest travesty that Rob Mullins has ever done. Like,
fire him.
Fire him. Why does he still have his job? I want to watch Oregon and my Bows play a 0-week football game in a stadium that seats 15,000 people. I think the world wants to see that. Damn it!
I disagree.
All right.
I mean, you don't like free wins. I mean, come on.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying they would have lost a lot of money playing that game.
That is not my problem.
No.
Very true. That's very true.
All right, we've been doing this again way too long. There's no sports to talk about, and yet here we are, like way over an hour on this fucking.
By the way,
podcast.
DeAndre Ayton, get to the game, you loser! You make $32 million a year. Call an Uber, you loser! Dale Davis crawled on his knees in 1999 to get to the Rose Garden in a snowstorm. You loser!
Who are you talking about?
DeAndre Ayton. He didn't go to the game last night.
I don't follow the Blazers at all. I was saying on.
I was he was a Blazer.
I was saying in the Discord the other day. I don't know who plays on on their team. So,
but yeah, the whole DeAndre Ayton thing was a big like serious sports story because like his rep is that he's very lazy, and he was the only one who could not get to the game yesterday because of ice. Not just saying he probably should have got there. He had about 2 days notice.
I mean, old Jimmy Bob could have got him there if he really wanted to get there.
I'm just saying, like, if you know your hill, your driveway is too steep, and you're making $32 million a year, and you're like 6th year in the NBA, there's probably a hotel close to the Moda Center that you could have stayed at for a night. I'm just putting that out there. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying.
DeAndre Ayton.
DeAndre Ayton. He's lazy.
Or like DeAndre Layton to the game. Didn't show up. Didn't show up. Lights too bright.
That was good. When you said didn't show up in that voice, that was really good. That sounded exactly like him. Well done. All right, we need to leave. I'm done doing this podcast.
We're gone.
Goodbye. Thank you for
Sorry.
listening and stuff. See ya.